Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Thupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the good practice this evening, Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Sumo, Tanchen Katso, Thupten Siddhi, Thupten Karma. All Dharma masters, Dharma lecturers, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma tutors, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
你好，大家好。寻找感恩。愛してる。사랑해。오라미고。Que quiero mucho。すごい。一番。気持ちいい。12。やべ。ブリンブリン。こんばんは。每天做千烧法转的超度。
Every day in performing the 1000 Dharma vessels by the deliverance,
地藏菩萨。
every time I would invoke Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva.
地藏菩萨
呢 Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva
所有的幽冥众
primarily to get all the spirits to be on board the Dharma vessels. So we can say the 1000 Dharma vessels by the deliverance. Of course, by the blessings of Golden Mother and Tiger Head Vajra. And then I would invoke Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva to lead the spirits to be on board the Dharma vessels. And then the Bardo deliverance will start. Every day, I would call upon Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Every day, I would invoke Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. And many Padma Kumaras. As I have said, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva, during the time of King Weda, that was the past life of Sakyamuni Buddha. He was the King Weda. So on a lotus pond, he saw 2 lotus blossoms, which transformed 2 lotus children. who guided the king Weda to the pure light Buddha.
这2个莲花童子，
So these two Padmakumaras were Avalokitesvara and Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva.
地藏王菩萨是什么？
And how about Siddhikarma Bodhisattva? He's also Padmakumara.
所以这个就是很多的大菩萨，其实都是莲花童。
There are many great bodhisattvas who are Padmakumaras or lotus child.
也是过去世曾经
So Avalokitesvara is a great bodhisattva, right? He's attained Buddhahood in the past. The same with Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva, who was once a Buddha. And Siddhikarma Bodhisattva,
佛陀时代
during the era of Sakyamuni Buddha,
还有6个地藏，这6地藏
there
都
were
是
6 Siddhikarmas.
幽冥世界，
And
甚至
not only in the netherworld
有地藏
spirit,
菩萨，6地
but
藏
also in the
6
heavenly
道
realm.
众生的地藏，
So 6 Siddhikarmas, 6 Siddhikarmas in the 6 rebirth realms. So there is a Siddhikarma Bodhisattva in
因
each
为
of
他
the
的愿
realms
力最大，
because his vow is the greatest,
他的愿力最大，
the greatest.
所以是一愿金刚，
That's
所以
why
叫一愿
he's
金刚。
referred as the vow granting Vajra.
世尊跟地藏菩萨很熟。
Grandmaster and
你们如果
Siddhikarma
碰到地藏菩
Bodhisattvas
萨，
are very
拜
close.
问候一声，
If you see Siddhikarma Bodhisattva, please send my
跟他熟
regard.
得很。
I'm very close to him. I always invoke him. 好，我们先讲几个笑话吧。 Let me share a few jokes
因为
first.
小明的成绩一直退步，
Xiaoming's
爸爸很担心， 就问
scores or
你为什么一
grades
直退
is
步呢？
digressing.
小
So
明
Dad was worried and asked him,
很小声的告诉爸爸，
how come your grades is
我
getting
这个叫
worse?
做以退为进啊，
And Xiaoming
这是一种战略，
quietly
你不要
told
告诉别人。
Dad, "Well, this is a,
爸爸讲，
a war
哦，原
trick.
来是这样，
I just
那我
want
就
to
放心了。
show retreating as a means to progress." And Dad said, "Oh, that's good then."
再来是华人的鬼月， 华人
And
的
this
鬼月
is the ghost month for the Chinese.
上了年纪的人
People
不会怕
who
鬼夜，
are older would not be
最
afraid of the
怕的
ghost
其
month,
实是岁月，
but you're most afraid of time
因为鬼月不会伤人，但是
because the
岁
ghost
月
month will
绝
not
对不
harm
饶人。
us. But time, which is in Chinese, is like
没办法，
the months and the years. The
所以我
years
曾
and
经
the
讲
months
过，
will never let
就
you
算你再多
go.
英俊，
I've said
再
it,
多帅，
doesn't matter how handsome or how hot or cool you
那
are,
女生呢，再怎么漂亮，
or how beautiful the woman is,
她都会，女生再漂亮，也会变成老菩萨。
they would become an old bodhisattva, become like the old lady whose nickname is Old Bodhisattva.
我记得老菩萨以前呢、 在这个
I remember
市场卖衣服的时
the
候，
old Bodhisattva was selling clothes in the market
市场
before,
西施
and she was referred to as the beauty of the
老菩萨在
market,
吗？
or Sisi, which is the
我们的西施怎么
classic
出来？
beauty of China, the four most beautiful ladies of China, Sisi. So now we'd like to ask her to come out, please.
她没有出来啊。大家看看啊，
Yes.
这个就是西施，
So she's a Sisi,
她就是
the great
真的
beauty.
是岁月把它变成这样子的。
So it's
所以她
time to
年轻的
change
时候
her.
啊，漂亮的很啊。
When she was young, she was extremely beautiful.
那老先生就不用讲了，
How about old
师尊
man?
也是老，
Grandmaster is old too.
80岁，
80,
是八姓老生。
the octogenarian monk,
80岁了，
80-year-old monk.
可以为所欲为，
So I can do whatever I want.
所以东西就乱吃。
So I can eat anything I
我东
like.
西呀、3个月前开始乱吃，80岁
Last
了，
month, I thought I'm already
我妈妈
80,
曾
so
经
I
讲
can
过一
eat
句话，
anything I like.
你到了80岁啊，
My mom once
不知道
said,
记什么呢？
when you're
就是这个
already
不可以吃，那个
80,
不可
you
以吃，
don't
这个
need
不可以
to
吃，
have
反正你通通都吃了，
taboo
吃了
or
就
on a
准备
diet. You can just eat anything and then wait for your time.
所以我相信我妈妈的话，
So
随
I
便乱吃。
believe my mom's words, so
这
I
一次去
just
到
ate
医院，
anything I
我的
liked.
family doctor 讲，
And then
什么东西不可以吃，这个不可
we
以吃，那个
went
不
to
可以吃，
see
通
our
通不可
family
以吃。
doctor, and then he said, oh, you cannot eat this, that, that,
非常恐
cannot
吓
eat
医生，
anything. And
医
then
生恐吓
he
我，
threatened
你
me,
什么东西不可以吃，不可以吃，不可以吃，
you cannot eat this
否则
and
你会
this
怎
and
么样？
that and that and that, or else you would be
那请你们
something.
告诉我，
So you please tell
请
me,
所有的弟子告诉我，我
all
到底
the
可以吃不
disciples,
可以吃？
can I eat or not?
如果我没有吃以前他讲的那些标准，
But I did not eat
高钾的食物不可以吃，
the things that
太
he
甜太甜的
specified,
东西
like
都不可以吃。
not food with high potassiums or too salty or too
然后
sweet.
糖不可以吃，
I don't eat any
糖不可以
sugar
吃，太甜的水果不可以
or
吃，冰淇
sweet
淋不可以吃，
fruits, cannot eat ice cream,
酒不可以喝，
cannot
烟不可以
drink
抽。
wine, cannot
我跟
smoke.
大特讲，那我活着干什么？
Then I asked the doctor, then why should I live?
就是这样。我现在活着不知道干什么，照他
So
的话
I
讲
don't，know why
什么都
I
不可
want to
以。
live on, because following his advice, then I cannot eat anything.
所以现在啊，我
So
每天只有睡觉，
now all I do is
睡
sleep.
觉总可以吧？
I can sleep, right? Am I
晚
allowed
上
to sleep?
也睡觉，
I sleep at
白天
night.
也睡觉，
I sleep in the daytime.
唯一的了。现
The
在唯一
only
的享乐
thing
就是睡觉，
The only enjoyment I have,
什么都没有了。
because when you sleep, there's nothing,
对呀、
right?
我们人有5个欲望，
Humans have
财
5 desires:
色
wealth,
名
sensual
食
pleasures,
睡。
fame, food, and sleep.
财
Wealth,
我根本就不想什么财，
I don't care
没有
for
这个财
wealth
的
at
欲
all.
望。
I have no desire for wealth.
色
Sensual pleasures.
我修的这个明点无漏，
I practice the
明点无漏法
non-leakage light
修
drops practice
根
and
本没有什么欲
attain
望。
fruition, so I have no desire at all.
名，我这
Name
是法
and
王最高
fame.
的嘛，
I'm a Dharma
那
king.
法王
That's
之
the
王嘛，
highest. And the king of
名
the Dharma
没有了。
kings. No more
食，
fame.
医生说
Food.
什么都不可以吃，
And the doctor said I cannot eat
那
anything.
只有喝尿，
So it's just drawing pee.
对不对？他说
Right.
最好的水是什么？白
What
开
is the
水，
best water? Just
吃也
pure
没有欲
water.
望，
So no
剩下
desire for food.
就是睡觉。
Only sleep.
财色名食睡，
Wealth, sensual pleasures, name,
晚上我睡
food
得很
and
好，
sleep.
白
I
天
sleep
也
well at night.
睡得很好，
And I also
白天
sleep
也睡，
well
晚
in
上
the
也睡。
daytime. I sleep day
而
and
且
night.
那个我自己的对睡觉啊，
And
呼声最高。什么是呼声最高？
what's that?
打呼的声音最高。
It's the loudest. My sleep is loudest.
我经常被自己打呼的声音吵醒。
I'm often awakened by my own snores.
就是这样啊。再来，
That's
要做什
all.
么
And then what else?
啊？你们帮我想一想。
Think about it for me.
小明考试考得不好，
Xiaoming got the bad
爸爸
score in his
就
exam.
揍了他一顿。
And when Dad saw
他
that,
向妈妈告状，
scolded him.
有人打
And
你的
then
儿
he
子，你会怎
complained
么？
to mom. Someone
Mama
hit
立刻回
your
答，
son. What would you do? And mom said,
谁敢打我的儿子？
who
我就怎
dared
么样子
to
打他
beat
的儿
my
子。
son? Then I would beat his son.
OK。台湾的莲花香请问
Question from Lianhua
师
Xiangqing
尊
from
佛啊，
Taiwan. Good Master,
请问
greetings.
弟子，烟供法已
I
修了
have
4
been
年，
practicing the smoke offering
但
for
现
4
在改
years,
上夜班，
but now I've changed
是
to work night shift
晚上17点
from
17点
17 to 23, so
就
5
是
to
下
11
午5点
p.m.
到11点，无法再修烟供，
I can no longer do smoke
其他
offerings. What
时
should I
段
do?
可以做烟
Can
供。
I perform smoke offerings at other times?
我告诉你，
Let me tell you.
中午12点开始，
Starting at noon,
中午12点开始，
starting at noon,
每天中午的12点开始，你就可以修烟供，
and you can start doing the smoke offering.
一直
You can
到
do smoke offering starting at noon
这个清晨6点，这一段
until
时间
6
你都可以
a.m.
修烟供。
So between noon and 6 a.m. you can do smoke offering.
好，我们平时啊，你在黄昏的时
Generally,
候啊，在
at
寺庙里面
dusk in the
在
temples,
做这个午供，
when we
有早
perform
上的那个
the
早
noon
上清晨的供，
offering,
还有午供，还有傍晚
so
的供，
morning offering,
傍
noon
晚的供
offering, and evening offering.
你就可以做烟供。
So for the evening offering, you can do smoke offering.
那你实在5点你就要上班，一直到11点
So
，11点
you
以后
work
也可以修烟供。
starting from
那么
5 to 11, so
5
you
点
can
以
perform
前、
smoke
12
offering
点以后、5时以后，你
between
也可
noon
以修
and
烟供。
5 or after
烟供的
11
时间
p.m.
很长，
until 6 a.m. So there a long period of time that you can perform smoke offering.
就中午之前，你不要修验
So
供以外，其他时间都可以修验供。
Not before noon, 6 a.m. to noon you should not, but other than that you can.
这是回答哈，台湾莲花乡群的。
That's the answer to 莲花乡亲 from Taiwan.
其实是鬼出来的时间呢，一般来讲，属于阴的时间。
That ghosts would appear is considered the yin time. Any time after noon is considered yin time. Yin versus yang. So like now, it's yin time. So if you go out and you see a ghost, and you tell the ghost, "Oh, you shocked me," and ghost said, "You are the one that shocked me. It's our time now." Humans should be when the sun is shining. When the sun is not there, that's the time belongs to the ghost. When the noon has passed, that a ghost with some spiritual power would start to come out. So many people think that you can't be seen do not exist, but actually, like Simu, now she can see everything. Also in the daytime. And for me, I can see when I want to see, and if I don't want to see, I don't. Don't think that at my South Mountain retreat there are so many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, so ghosts should not be there. But that's wrong. My bed, underneath my bed, where I lie, are ghosts, are filled with ghosts. Don't think that we have so many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. On the entrance, they are all great Bodhisattvas. The first Golden Mother, second Golden Mother, third Golden Mother. And yet there are still many ghosts over there. So don't think that my Dharma seat at the South Mountain Retreat is only set by me. No, wrong. There's a ghost practicing there. Whenever I walk by it or to it, then the ghost would stand up and leave. And you think in my bedroom there are no ghosts, or there are lots more ghosts there. I've told you. When I walk to the sink, underneath it, there are many ghosts running around. And when I go to the entrance, the bamboos would move. When I lay on bed, the ghosts under the bed would all move. And on my Dharma seat, there's also a ghost sitting there. Also in the fridge. Every time I walk by the fridge, they would make a sound. So I live with Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, gods, and ghosts. So sometimes I tell them, please don't make such a noise. Like deep in the night, 1 or 2 a.m., and they're still very noisy. And I told them, quiet, shut up. And they told me they're having a meeting. And I told them, even in a meeting, you shouldn't be so noisy. And they said they're having a debate. So even I can do this, and Simu is even more incredible. One night she woke up and she saw Abby brought her relatives to my house. The whole room was filled with them. People all over the room. And in the yard, there are many of them. They're waiting for the Bardo deliverance. And on Sundays evening or night, Master Lien Chi drove Sumo and I back to South Mountain Retreat, and they are always the most ghosts at those times, because all the ghosts that have not been Bardo delivered at the Rainbow Temple would follow me home. So Lien Yan and Lien Xi, and the reference in the Rainbow Temple, you have to make offering to me for the ghosts. So you accept all the money, but I'm the one that bring the ghosts home. So what the bad luck, I have to make offering to them. Because people registered for Bardo deliverance, and so many registrants, and they went to the Rainbow Temple, and because they were not successfully Bardo delivered, they followed me home. So you should share the half to me. Master Lien Yan said that everything belonging to Rainbow Temple, it belongs to Grandmaster, but I cannot touch it. So really, the issues with ghosts, it's very hard to say. Simu sees the most. Nowadays, she doesn't say much about it, even when she sees them, because she's seen too many of them. Okay, let's talk about Vimalakirti Sutra. Next, Bodhisattva Electric Sky said, electric sky. Many people do not know what that means. Does it mean that these bodhisattvas have electricity by then? This is also very interesting, because 2600 years ago, when Sakyamuni Buddha was in the world, there was no electricity.
哪里来的电？
How could there be electricity?
我们在清朝乾隆皇帝的时候，
During the Qing dynasty, Emperor Qianlong, there was no
在皇宫里
electricity.
面呢，只有点蜡烛
So in the palace, they just used
就是点
candles.
烛嘛。那时候也没有汽车啊，就
There
马
were
车
no
嘛。
cars. There were horse carts.
所以那个笑话你们都听过了嘛。
So you've heard of that
乾
joke,
隆
right?
皇帝下江
Emperor
啊，
Qianlong went to the south,
然后一群乌龟啊挡道，
and a group
挡住乾隆
of
皇帝的车，
turtles
的
blocked
坐
the
的坐
road.
车，他不是开的是汽车，是一般的
The
马车。
emperor was riding on a horse cart.
我说这些乌龟做什么啊？
And
乌龟
then he
跟他
asked,
跟
"What
乾
are
隆
these
皇帝讲，
turtles
我们都
doing,
要当
stopping
官。
our cart?" And the
乾隆皇帝
turtles
就
told the emperor, "We
出个
want to
难
be
题给
your
他，
officials."
他说你们有什么东西可以供养？
And the emperor
他
asked
说我
them,
们
"Do
有
you
王
have
八
any
蛋，
offerings for us?" And they said, "We have our eggs," which
用王八
means
蛋供养。
turtle eggs, but
他
that
说
actually
好，王
means
八蛋也
son,
算
son
是一
of the
种供
bitch.
养。
And okay, it's a kind of
啊，乾
offering
隆皇帝给
too,
他出个难
son of
题，
a bitch. So Emperor Qianlong
当马
said,
不用拖车的时候，
when the horses do not need to draw
皇宫里面
carts
啊，
or
也不
chariots,
用点蜡烛的时候，
and we don't need to lit candles
皇
in
宫
the
也不用点蜡
palace
烛，
anymore,
那马也不用拖车。
and the horses do not have to draw chariots anymore.
还有第三个条件是什么？
And what is the third one?
啊？那就是电了，就是所有人马都不用拖车的时候啊，还有这个，
So when the horses do not
也就
need
是说，
to
铁可以在空中飞的时候，铁可以在空中飞的时候，
draw the carts and the
另外呢，
irons can fly
就
in the
是皇宫里
sky,
面不用再点蜡烛的时候，就让你们当官。
we don't need to
哦，
lit
那些乌
candles
龟
in the
听了很
palace,
高兴，
then we'll
就
let
回
you
去了。
become
所以现
a
在呢
government
马也不用
officials.
拖车了，
And
对不
those
对？
turtles were very happy. And
这个
nowadays,
空中真的有
we
铁
don't
在
have
飞，
horse
就是飞机
carts
嘛。
carrying
马
us
也不用
anymore,
拖车啦，
and we have
那现在都有
airplanes in
汽
the
车嘛。
sky, and now
所以
we
现
have
在乌龟都当
cars,
官。
and we don't need to lit candles because we have electricity. So that's why we have son of bitch
当官
as
的
the
不是乌龟，
government officials. All the turtles now become government officials. This is a
啊，
joke.
有电天菩萨，
So
那
electric
时候根
sky
本没有电，
bodhisattva. There
但
was
是
no
他们
electricity
看
then,
过
but they
闪
have
电，
seen the lightning.
哎，闪电，
Lightning.
对呀，古代时候就有闪电了，
In
打
the
雷
ancient
呀，闪电
time,
呢，
they
就
have thunders and
所以
lightning.
电就表示很快、迅速，
So this
很快
electric
的意思，
means swift,
也就是这个菩
very
萨，
fast,
他的智慧是非常
which
迅速
means
的，
that this bodhisattva has a very quick or
他是
swift
很
or wisdom,
好像我
quick
们每次
witted.
说法或怎么样，稍微想一想，
So
脑筋里
like
面想
some
一想，
when we give
什
Dhamma
么可以讲，
teaching,
什
we
么不
should
可以讲，
think a
所以
little
脑筋
bit
在脑筋里
what
面转。
should be
但是这个电天菩
spoken
萨，
and what
他
should
是
not be
很
spoken.
马上他就了解，
But this bodhisattva
而且他
electric
了
sky
解，他的理智
immediately
非常清明，
understands,
非常清澈，
and his
他的智
logic,
慧就
his
像
wisdom is
虚空那
very
么广大，
lucid and clear and as vast as
他
the
的智
sky.
慧来得又快，又跟虚空一样那
And
么
the
广大，
wisdom
这个菩
comes
萨
very
就
fast.
叫电天菩
and as boundless as the sky. And such a bodhisattva is called
这样明
bodhisattva,
白吗？电天菩萨的意思。
electric sky.
他说：“所谓真理，明就是真
And he
理，
said,
无明就是不懂的。
illumination, which means the ultimate
所谓
truth,
明就是真实的，
and ignorance, which is
无明
lack of
就是
wisdom.
不实的，
So
不实的就叫无，
the
不是实在。
reality and the
明
non-reality.
跟无明是两样东西。
So there are two
什么
things.
叫做明呢？好像我们了解了佛法，佛法知道明心是什
So
么，
what is the true reality,
那个就
like
是
Buddha Dharma,
真实。
which
像我们
teaches
人的身体是什么？
what is the world about,
是地水火
like our bodies
这个叫
are
做明。
comprised of the four elements, earth, water, fire,
他
and
明白
wind.
很多的事情，
That's called
而且明
illumination.
白的就是实
They
际，
understand
就是实
the
在。
truth,
这个叫
the
做
true
什么
reality.
叫无明？
And what is the lack of wisdom or
无明的
ignorance?
贪嗔痴都是无
That's
明。
greed, anger, delusion, or foolishness,
愚蠢是
ignorant.
无明，迷
Those are all
也是无
lack
明，
of wisdom,
迷惑
or
也是无明，
deluded,
你贪
confusion,
心也是无明。
greed.
你明明知道这
You
娑婆世界的东西
know
都不是你的，
that nothing in the Saha world
这是
belongs to
明。
you,
不明白你就贪，
which
想要
is
贪财、
illumination.
贪色、
But if you don't understand, then you become
贪
greedy
名，
for wealth,
这个
for
就是无明。
sensual pleasures, for fame,
嗔，也就是说你贪不到了，你就生
and
气。
anger. Like if you don't
这
get
生
what you
气
desire,
就是
you
嗔。
get angry.
嗔是什么？就是无明，
So
你得不到
anger
了，
is
这个叫做
lack
无
of
明。
wisdom. When you don't get it,
其实任何东西呀、
that's lack
都
of
是得不
wisdom.
到。
Actually, you cannot get
明白的人就
anything.
知道，任何东西都是得不到。
Those who are clear-minded
佛
would
法里
know
面已经
that you
讲得很
cannot
清
get
楚。
anything, you cannot gain anything. It's been stated very clearly in Buddha
我常
Dharma.
常讲，房子是你的吗？
I often
不
ask,
是，
is the house
你以为
belonging
那
to
是你
you?
的房子，
No.
过
You
不久
think that the house belongs to you,
就会变成别人的。
but
你能够再住几年？
not long
我现在80岁了，南山雅舍是你的，
after a period of time, it will belong
不是
someone
我，
else. Now
也不
I'm
是师母，
80, South Mountain
也不
Retreat
是佛
doesn't
亲，
belong to
也不是
me
佛
or
妻。
to Simu or for Qing or for Qi.
将来南山
In the
雅舍
future, the South
是
Mountain
真佛宗
Retreat
的，
belongs to True Buddha
将
School.
来真佛密院是真
In the
佛宗的。
future, True Buddha Tantric Quarters will belong to True Buddha School.
所以有很多人在争遗属，有没有？遗
So
属里
many
面写
people
的这个财
fight
产要争，要给
for
谁啊？
the
到时候
will, for the
兄弟之间
inheritance
打
stated
这
in
个
the
遗
will.
产的官司啊，互相打遗产，
And
争
then
遗
the
产的这个官
siblings
司，常常有这
would
个事情。
fight each other,
他不
sometimes
知道，
in court
只
for
要他到了
inheritance.
一段时间以后啊，这个东西也不是他的。
And they did not know, they do not
有什么好
know
争？
that after a period of time, those things do not belong
常
to
常
them
讲的一句
anymore.
话：
So what
人
is there
在
to
天
fight
堂，
for? We often say the man
钱
is
在
in
银行，
heaven, his money is in the bank,
妻子在
his
别人的
wife
胸膛，
is in somebody else's
兄
embrace,
弟正在
and
争
his
你的财产。
siblings are fighting for your inheritance.
没有人能在这世界上拿走任何东西，这个叫做名。
Nobody in this world can
不明白，
bring
他就会贪。
anything away
第一
from
个，
the world. That's called illumination. So people that do not understand would be greedy for wealth, for name, for sensual pleasures, for food. And I still have one greed, which is for sleep.
所以明跟无明是两样东西嘛。一个明白的人，他就是随缘。
Lucidity or illumination and ignorance are two things. People who are clear, they would go with the flow, following affinities.
应该怎么样就怎么样。
And going with the flow, which means you do whatever you're supposed to.
缘分到了。
And following affinities, when the affinities here, then we gather together. When the affinities disappear, then we go separate ways with a smile on our face. So with affinities, we gather together. Without affinities, we go separate ways. With the gentle breeze send off the birds to the air, to the sky. So it's not a big deal. We are together because of affinities. So you go with the flow, so what it will be. And following our roles, we do what we can, and there's no need to force what we can't do. So Buddha Dharma teaches us to be natural and just follow the course. So there's no need to force anything, because once you force it, that is a crime, that is a transgression. So many people lack wisdom. The true nature of ignorance is illumination. This is strange. Why is it stated that way? The true nature of ignorance is illumination. Sometimes people don't understand this statement, but actually you do. So even if you're ignorant, at the end you become empty. The real Buddhist principle is talking about emptiness. The real principle is emptiness. So say if you have been ignorant all of your life, at the end you still become emptiness. And in this world, it's basically there's nothing to gain. It's stated in the Vajra Sutra and also in the Heart Sutra. Knowing there is nothing to gain, you're a bodhisattva. Nobody can get anything. Once you understand this clearly, that's called illumination. However, even if you're ignorant, you also illuminate it. Why? Because at the end, you also do not get anything. So, isn't that illumination? So the true nature of ignorance is also illumination. So in the past, someone wanted to run for the presidency, and I told him, so even if you get elected, it's the same as if you're not elected, and he could not understand. Grandmaster Lu, I really don't understand what you're talking about. And I said, he said that if I get elected, it's the same as I don't get elected. Why? Because one day you wouldn't be a president anymore.
你只不过是暂时的总统，
You just become a president temporarily,
做个
maybe 4 years or 8 years at most.
以后你就没有了。
And then afterwards, there's nothing. So whether you get elected or not elected, it's the same.
我的意思就是这样子讲。
That's what I meant. He could not understand.
所以无明也就是明。
That's why ignorance is also illumination.
那明呢，还是明。
And illumination is illumination.
明亦不可取离一切数。
Illumination cannot be grasped and is free from all enumeration. Those who are equal and non-dual in this understanding enter the Dharma gate of non-duality. If you understand this, and when you are not affected whether it's illumination or ignorance, and we just go with the flow, following affinities, doing what we are supposed to do. That's the non-duality Dharma gate.
像我们明白这个人间只是一场梦。
If we understand that human life is just a dream, after the dream passes, there's nothing left.
我刚刚讲了，美跟丑是没有。
Just now I said there is no difference between beauty and ugliness.
每个都很美。
When you're young, everyone is beautiful.
年轻的时候，大家都
like teenagers.
英俊潇洒，就是
So when you're young, you're either handsome or beautiful.
到了老的时候，
But once you're old, all you have is kindness.
没有什么美，什么丑。
There is no more beauty or ugliness. The hair turns white, even the brows and the beard and wrinkles on the skin, and we would lose the luster. And without the luster, we become very dim, no more radiant, the radiance of youth. And then eventually one day, so is there any difference between beautiful and ugly? No.
我们以前当军人讲了一句话，电灯一关，什么都一样。
The military man said, when you turn off the lights, everything is the same.
美跟丑有什么差别？
Is there any difference between
反正看不到。
beauty and ugliness? You cannot see them anyway.
其实无明跟明是平等无二的。
Actually, having wisdom or lacking wisdom are equal and the same. This is Bodhisattva Electric Sky said. They are not two things, they are one thing. And this is entering the Dharma gate of non-duality. So up till now, I don't put anything in my heart and mind. Because if you keep it in your heart and mind, then you're tormenting yourself. Then why? Why do you want to torment yourself? No need. I just follow the affinity. And I just follow the wishes and then just do what I'm supposed to do. Only this way, then you would have permanence, bliss, and pure self. So what does it mean? That your heart mind is always happy and radiant. So pure self means my mind will not be scattered or chaotic. Like in my Dharma practice, if I think of other things, then you cannot do the practice. Then it becomes chaotic. So you need to have calmness and serenity in doing your Dharma practice. Then in order to have that, you cannot have anything on your mind. If you have something on your mind, then you would think of that. So how can you do your Dharma practice? All of you have this experience. If you're affected or worried or troubled by something, then your Dharma practice will be affected. You would have that obstruction. So you have to throw away all this garbage from your heart mind. Whatever words other people said, ignore them, throw them out. Slanders, throw them out. Gossip about you, throw them out. Whether they said the right things or the wrong things, just throw them out. Throw all of them out. You empty yourself. Only then you can be single-pointed in your Dharma practice. And to complete your Dharma practice completely. At such a time, like what we said, the Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva would enter into yourself and you become Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Just now in Dhamma practice, you become Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. But if your heart is dirty, the lotus in your heart is dirty, filled with filth, anger, hatred, love, revenge, emotions inside your heart, how can you become Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva? If you said you can, that's dog poo. Impossible that you would become Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Just now, when we practice Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, you need to empty your heart mind first in order for it to transform into lotus blossom. And only then Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva can enter into you. But if it's inside you, it's only poo. In your heart, there's only poo and it's very dirty. How can Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva enters into you or unite with you? So spiritual cultivators should throw out everything from our heart and mind. So talking about sleep, Grandmaster sleeps really well, Grandmaster Lu. Every time I get on bed, 3, 2, 1, out. And then the sound of the snores. With the count of 3, I would fall asleep. I don't need for any help or medicine. I would fall asleep right away. Why? Because I have nothing on my mind. I wouldn't think of this or that, and then you would lose sleep. Nowadays, there's this illness about sleep disturbances, obstructions to sleep because you don't empty your heart mind. Because when you have afflictions inside your heart or mind, or complaints or resentments, then you would not be able to fall asleep. So throw all this garbage out.
无明到最后也是迷。
So
无明的本质
lacking
就是
wisdom
迷。
ultimately
你烦
would
恼
becomes
有用吗？
having wisdom.
恨有用吗？
So is there
爱
any
有用吗？
use to be
情有用吗？
hating,
仇有用吗？
loving,
那些都是没
having
用的东西啊。
emotions or revenge? No use. None of
重要
those.
是你的心有没有清
Most
净，
importantly
你能
is
不能达
your
到
heart
心的
mind
清净？
pure.
你
Can
心
you
的清
reach
净
that?
就是明。
So the purity of your heart mind is called illumination.
你心不清净，
If your
都
heart
是迷
mind
都
is
是
not
无明。
pure, that's ignorance or lacking wisdom.
不管你清不清净，到最后
Doesn't
全部
matter
完蛋。
whether you're pure or not, at the end, you're all dead.
这就是不二法门。
That's the Dharma gate of non-duality.
所以我们学佛啊，最重要的就是要学
So
这个。
in our Buddhist study,
我们学佛
most
最重要就是
importantly
学
is
这
to
个。
learn this.
如果你还有无明，
If
你
you
的
still
身体、
have
你的心里面还有垃
ignorance,
圾，
if you
要
still
扫
have
掉。
garbages inside your heart and mind,
你倒掉就
throw
会
them
很好
out
睡。
right away. As soon as you throw them out, you would have good
你的心
sleeps.
里，你把它倒掉，就能够跟本尊
So
合一
when
啊。
you throw out anything in
你
your
这个
heart
光
mind,
才
then
会
you
显
can be
现
in
出来啊。
union with the
不
Yidam.
然你本身就
Only
是黑暗
then
的。
you would be able to emit light. Otherwise, you're all just darkness.
这个才是不二法。
Only this is the Dharma
电天
gate
菩
of
萨所讲，
non-duality. This was spoken by Bodhisattva
我们
Electric
一般人
Sky.
大部分都是无明的。
Most of
你看现
us,
在的我们当然
human
不敢批
beings,
评政治，因为我这个
generally
人不喜欢政治，不太
lacking
喜欢
wisdom.
政治
I don't want to talk about politics because I don't like
啊
politics.
我不批评政治，但是我们也可以看到那些战争啊，现在这个以色列跟巴勒斯坦的战争，
But we can see the
Russia
wars
跟乌克
between
兰的
Israel
战
and Palestine, between Ukraine
那
and
个全部
Russia.
都是无明啊，
Those are all lacking
那个就是
wisdom,
无明。
ignorance.
战到最后会怎么样？
So at the end of those wars, what will happen?
大家都一样完蛋了，
They're all dead.
那根本就是无明啊！
That's
你
ignorance.
不要讲国家也会无明啊，
Even a country can be ignorant.
国家也是无明。你看中国的历史，我以前研究中国的历史，
Look at China history. I studied that before.
夏、
From
商、
Tang
周、
Yi, Xia, Sang, Zhou,
秦、汉
Qin,
四
Han,
国
4 countries.
啊，魏晋南北
晋
朝、
Northern
隋
Southern
唐
dynasties.
宋
Sui,
元
Tang,
明
Song,
清，
Yuan, Ming, Qing.
到现在
Till
的
now,
中国，
the modern day
经
China.
过那么多朝代，
They have
每一
gone
个皇
through
帝
so
都想
many
霸雄
dynasties,
霸天下，
and every emperor wanted
尤其是汉
to
武帝，
rule over the world, especially
尤其是
Emperor Han Wudi,
秦始皇，
Qin Shi
雄霸
Huang.
天下，
They wanted to rule
雄霸了没有？
under the heavens, but have they succeeded?
不是没有啊。
Nothing.
就算你雄霸了天下，又怎么样？
Even if you have ruled the whole world, so what?
大家共存在这个这么小的地球里面，
Let's
共
live
存共荣，不是很好吗？
in this
对不对？
little
大家互相
earth,
帮助，
little thing
互相
called
繁荣，
earth. Can we
互
just
相
live in
不要这
harmony
样子分别有分别心，
and
这样子打来打去，
embrace
不
each
是很好。
other? Why
这样
do
日
we
子
have
你不
such
过，
a discriminating
偏偏要过
mind
那
and
个好像是说
fighting with
那
each
些战
other?
乱的生
Why
活，
don't we just live a good life and still prefer to live such a warlike
所以那个就是无明，
and chaotic life,
地水火
trouble,
风种种的灾
horrible
难，
life.
你还要去克服，还
And
有瘟疫，
we still have a
对不
lot
对？
of
还有
other
COVID-19
disasters like natural
想办法去
disasters,
克服，
pandemic, COVID-19,
让
which we
所有
need
的人
to
生活更加美好， 大家
resolve
快快乐乐的过日子，
so everybody can live
快快
a
乐的离开人间，
better and happier life
对不对？
and can leave
让
the
每个
world
人在他一生当
happily
中都是美好的回忆，
so that
不是很好
every
吗？
person has a good life and good memory of their lives. Wouldn't that be
众
nice?
生无明，所以
But
释迦牟
sentient
尼佛
beings are
他就来
ignorant.
讲这部经，维摩诘就来讲这部
That's
经，
why Sakyamuni
让我们知
Buddha
道
and
什么是
Vimalakirti
无
spoke the
什么是无
sutra
明。
to let us know what is ignorance and what is lacking wisdom and what is having wisdom.
哎，讲笑话吧。
Let me share a joke.
哎，怎么笑话？结婚多年的男人，
A man who's been married for many years saw his
这个时
wife
候跟
coming out
新
from
婚
the
的时
shower.
候相比，感觉有什么不同？
How different does he
回
feel
答是
from the
春气
newlywed?
花还在，人来鸟不惊。
The answer is the flower. The spring flower is still there, but the bird is not.
最近家里附近多了很多的野狗，
Recently,
常常
there
半
are
夜叫个
many
不停，
wild dogs around
造
the
成我
house
严重的失眠。
and always
上个礼
barking
拜去
all
看医
night,
生，
so
拿
I
了安
lost
眠药
sleep.
回来，
So I went to
几
see the
天后
doctor and
回
got
诊，
some sleeping pills. And
医
a
生
few
就
days
问：
ago, I
哎，
returned
眼前
to
比
see
上
the
次深
doctor,
了，
and the doctor
安眠药
asked,
没用。
"How come you have
这
even
个人
darker
我
eyes?"
每晚都
So
去
the
捉那
sleeping
群野狗，
pills did not
好
work.
不容易抓到一只，但他说什么
I've
也不
been
肯吃。
I've been chasing after those wild dogs for so long, and it was so
那医
hard.
生就
And
讲
finally, I got one, but he just didn't want
你
to
等
take the
我一
sleeping
下，我
pills.
帮
And the
你
doctor
转
said,
精
"Wait,
神
wait, wait.
科。
Let me transfer you to the psychiatrist."
安眠药是给他自己吃的
The，sleeping
不
pill
是
is
给
for
野狗吃
himself,
的。
not for the dogs.
他以为是要给野狗吃的，
He thought it's for the dogs.
这是无明。
That's called lacking wisdom
我告诉
or
你，
ignorance.
我隔壁
Next door to my
就是现
house,
在南山亚舍的隔壁，
next to the
他
South
养
Mountain
来
Retreat,
一只狗。
they
这只
have a
狗啊，
dog.
我打开窗户，因为最近天气很
And
热嘛，
because it's
我就
hot
把
recently,
窗户打
right?
开。
So I opened my windows,
隔壁邻居的那只狗
and
拼
the
命叫，
dog
因为
from
它可能看到我家的
next
鬼
door
太多，
kept barking because maybe he saw the ghosts in my house
叫一个晚上哎，
and
我
bark
告诉
all
你，
night.
叫个不停。
He kept on barking all night.
我告诉你一件事情，
Now, let me
我
tell you
如
one
果没有
thing.
听到狗叫声，我就睡不着。
You know, now that if I didn't hear the dog barking, I wouldn't
狗
fall
的叫
asleep.
声就是我的催眠曲，
So the
它
the
叫一个晚
barks
上哎，
like a lullaby
他养了
he
一条狗，
barks all
因为我家
night
鬼多嘛，
because
鬼来来
there
去
are
去
lots of
狗
ghosts at my
可能
house,
狗
right?
眼他看得到。
Maybe the dogs can see.
我们常常狗的眼睛可以看到
They
这些
often
无形嘛，
say that the dogs can
所以它
see
会
many
叫
of
声
the
会不一样。
intangibles.
哎，我们
So
台
the
湾
barks are
开门
different.
讲
The
说吹
barkings,
高垒，
the barks are different.
吹高垒的就是说
In Taiwan, as we say, they howls.
会叫那种声音的，
They
我听了
howls.
好舒服哦。
Oh, when hearing that, I felt, oh, what a good lullaby.
真的，
Feel good.
那狗叫也变
feels
成
good.
我的安眠曲啊。
So even the dog howls The dogs
我也会
howl
唱安眠曲。
and becomes a lullaby. I can sing.
快快睡，我宝贝，窗外天已黑，小鸟会吵去，太阳也要休息。到天亮出太阳，又是鸟语花香。到天亮出太阳，又是鸟语花香。啊，那狗的叫声啊，
So the
听
dogs
了非常的舒服。
I feel very comfortable hearing that and makes me sleep even better.
这个人家写作文，
Someone writes a composition.
我现在才知道，当年
Now I
也
know
是一个黄奴，买的
why
居然是一套烂尾楼，
that
有诗为
Levi
证，
was
床
also
前
a
明月
slave
光，
to the
应
house.
该是没有窗子的。
So
应
this
该
is
是没有
about the
窗子
poem by Levi. 床前明月光. So the
疑是
moonlight
地
in
上
front
霜，
of the bed, but
原
there's
来连
no
门都没有
window.
装。举头
And
望
thinking
明
that
月，
that's
屋顶可以
a
看到明
frost.
月。
Then, oh, they don't even have a door.
低
And
头思故乡，
raising my
的
head,
李
looking
白
at the bright moon.
到了
So
长
there's
安，
no
他才
roof.
会想到他自己的故乡，就是说
And
很受伤
Levi,
啊。
when he got to the capital, Chang'an, was thinking
他是这样
or
子写的。
longing for his homeland.
有一
And
回我
then
不是跟大家讲吗？
My head
有人注
droops
解是这
thinking
样的：
about my
床
homeland.
前明月光，
There was another interpretation of
床
the
前
poem.
的明月小姐头望光，
In front of the bed, there's a
疑
bright
是地上霜。
moonlight.
本
That
来看那
means
个小姐的皮肤啊，
the
非
bright
常的白，
moon is a
就
little
像霜一
lady,
样那么白。举头望明
totally
月，
naked,
我抬头看着明月
thinking
小姐，低头
that
思
her skin
故
is
乡的
as
老
white
国，
as the snow.
就是想说不知道可以
So
不可以，
lifting my head, I see
在
the
心里在那边
bright
挣扎。
moon lady,
每首
and
诗都很
lowering
容
my
易翻译。
head, I'm thinking of the wife at
床前
home.
的
So
明月
that's a
头光
different
光，
interpretation of the poem.
老师把小明叫到了教室外面，
The
老
teacher
师讲
called
你的作业
Xiaoming
做的怎么
outside
越来
the
越长
classroom
啊？
and
这是怎
asked,
么一回事？
how come your
小明讲
homework now
老
is
师，
getting worse and worse? What's
等
going
我
on?
找一找原因，下午
And
再
then
告诉
Xiaoming
你好
said,
吗？
let me find the
老师说
reason.
好
I'll
吧。
tell you this
下
afternoon.
午的时候，老师又把小明
And
叫
the
到教
teacher
室
said,
外面。
okay. And in the
老师
afternoon,
问
the teacher asked
找
Xiaoming
到原
again,
因了吗？
so have you found the
小明
reason
说
why?
找到了。
And Xiaoming said,
我爷
yes.
爷说，
My
作业越来
grandpa
越
said
难啊，
that the
他也
homework
没
is
办
getting
法。
harder and harder. He doesn't know any better.
我妈那边以后，
感恩圣尊莲生活佛宝贵的法语开示，